So right now I'm watching WWF Unforgiven 1999. Now, at the previous pay-per-view, SummerSlam 1999, the main event was Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Mankind in a triple threat match for the WWF Championship. Now, Mankind won that match and won the WWF Championship. However, the very next night on Raw, Triple H faced Mankind one-on-one for the WWF Championship, and Triple H won the WWF title for the very first time. Now, somewhere between that moment and this moment, Unforgiven, 1999, a six-man match was set up for the main event of this show. And it's for the WWF title. Triple H is involved, The Rock is involved, I believe Kane, Big Show, Mick Foley, and the British Bulldog, who made a return to the WWF. I believe those are the six guys in the main event. And Stone Cold Steve Austin is the special guest enforcer or special guest referee, one of those things. Right now, the opening video package for the show is going on, and they're showing all the participants in the main event. Pyro is going off. I always liked how they have different stage setups for the events during the Attitude Era. You know, too much of WWE's premium live events look very similar to each other. They don't put much effort into the stage setups now as they did back then. Now, like, when I look at all these pay-per-views from 1999, every single one of them looks different. Everyone has their own unique feel. That's what I like about this. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler ringside. They're the commentators. Now, the WWF Championship is on the line in the main event, but they just mentioned that it's for the vacant WWF title. Because I believe what happened is at some point, Vince McMahon won the WWF title between SummerSlam and this event. And then he vacated it. So now these six guys are going to compete to find out who the WWF champion is. And they also just mentioned that the referees are on strike. So we'll see what's going on with that. Here comes Val Venis for the opening match. He will be facing Steve Blackman. At the previous pay-per-view, Steve Blackman took on Ken Shamrock in a Lion's Den match. And I believe Steve Blackman lost that match after a kendo stick to the skull knocked him unconscious. Val Venis is carrying Steve Blackman's infamous bag of weapons to the ring. Val is doing his infamous ring entrance where he grinds and takes his towel off. See, the WWF was a lot more provocative back then, and that's why people loved it. Although I will say, these days, if you watch NXT, that's a very provocative show as well. I mean, look at the camera angles on that show when they're doing the women's matches. Look at what the cameramen are focusing on. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Just go watch NXT. Val Venis is on the microphone. I can't even repeat what he's saying. See, again, you'd never hear this stuff on today's WWE television, but maybe when WWE Raw moves to Netflix, you might see or hear some more provocative stuff because they won't have to deal with television standards anymore. Here comes Steve Blackman. Oh, match is started. Blackman ran into the ring and got started right away. Charlotte, North Carolina is where this event is taking place. Clothesline by Val Venis. Val throws Blackman into the corner, head first, into the turnbuckle, and now he's landing punches. Oh, Val and Blackman are on the outside now. Now, Steve Blackman is probably best known for his time in the hardcore title division. But this is not a hardcore title match. I mean, Blackman was in a bunch of hardcore title matches in the year 2000. Inverted atomic drop on Val. I think Steve Blackman is targeting Val's groin for whatever reason. Oh, Steve Blackman just Irish whipped Val into the steel steps. Now, speaking of the main event of the show, now with Steve Austin as the guest enforcer, guest referee, you have to remember that at the previous show, SummerSlam 1999, that show ended with Triple H attacking Steve Austin's knees with a steel chair. It was like an all-out assault. So a lot of people would expect that Triple H has no shot of winning the main event. By the way, the Brooklyn Brawler is the referee for this match. Because remember, the referees are on strike, so I guess they're just using random people from backstage. They're back in the ring now. Blackman just Irish whipped Val into the corner and Val fell down face first. Blackman is in complete control of this match, by the way. Nope, Val fighting back. Suplex by Blackman, goes for the cover. Oh, no. Now he's got a chin lock on Val. Now, they just mentioned that The Undertaker apparently walked out on the previous episode of SmackDown. He was supposed to be in this six-pack challenge that's in the main event for the WWF title. In fact, Undertaker is on the poster for the Unforgiven event, but he's not actually on the show. So I think that was Undertaker's last appearance until he returned in May of 2000 as the American Badass, coming out to the ring in a motorcycle. So yeah, he was out for a while. By the way, Val and Steve Blackman are having a very average match here. Side Russian leg sweep by Val on Steve. Steve. That makes him sound a lot less intimidating, calling him Steve. Oh, Val is grinding on top of Steve, and then now he goes for the cover. 1, 2. By the way, Brooklyn Brawler is who is the referee. He's doing some very slow counts. It's like 1, 2. Oh, crossbody. Oh, Val rolled through. 1, 2. Yeah, Blackman just did a crossbody, but Val reversed it. Spine buster by Steve Blackman goes for the cover. 1, 2, and no. Bulldog by Val. DDT by Val. Okay, Val is calling for his finishing move, the money shot from the top rope. He's on the top. He got it. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was a decisive victory by Val Venis. Well, that's the kind of victory that just makes Steve Blackman look like bottom of the card guy, which unfortunately he was. But I mean, I can't really remember any great Steve Blackman matches. There were some entertaining ones when he was in the hardcore division. Obviously, his most memorable match was probably against Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2000. And I believe that was for the hardcore title. Oh, Steve Blackman just took a kendo stick and just whacked Val right in the head with it. And Val is unconscious now. Yeah, well, I guess Blackman had to get some heat back because he just got decisively beaten by Val. Here comes some fake medical personnel to check on Val Venis, and one of them is like a female EMT who actually... Oh, wow. Yo, this is hilarious. There's a, during the Attitude Era, there was this security guy who was always around. He's this big jack guy named Jim, right? And Blackman just pushed him, and he speared. Steve Blackman took him down. Boy, that's embarrassing. Anyway, there's fake medical personnel checking on Val, and one of them is, I forget, like, her name is BB. She becomes a WWF diva. I don't know if this is her first appearance as an EMT, but I think she eventually gets involved with Val, and this might have been the beginning of it. Yeah, I was not expecting the security guy to take down Steve Blackman. That's embarrassing. Man, that really makes Steve Blackman look like a jobber. Getting taken down by a security guy. Now, I did notice some type of a cage hanging above the ring. So I believe that there's a match between Al Snow and Big Boss Man that involves that cage. I think it's called a Kennel from Hell match. And I think there's dogs involved. So we'll look out for that. Michael Cole is interviewing the Big Show backstage. It's called Michael Cole a monkey. Yep. Okay, so they're showing Kane, Big Show, British Bulldog, Triple H, Rock, Mankind. Those are the 6 guys competing for the WWF Championship, and Stone Cold is the enforcer. Oh, they're also showing there's a European title match tonight between D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. Now, Mark Henry turned on his friend D'Lo Brown at SummerSlam and cost D'Lo Brown not only the European title, but also the Intercontinental title. And then Jeff Jarrett, he lost it to Jeff Jarrett, right? He lost both titles to Jeff Jarrett. And then Jarrett gave Mark Henry the European title for no particular reason, just to reward him for his efforts at SummerSlam, helping him win that match. They're showing a video package that is showing the lead up to this D'Lo Brown versus Mark Henry European title match. This started before SummerSlam, obviously. D'Lo Brown was trying to help Mark Henry get healthy and lose weight. Mark Henry is hitting on Lillian Garcia in the back. They're showing the referees on strike. Kyoto, Chad Patton, Tim White, Earl Hebner, Teddy Long. Here comes Mark Henry. Remember, Mark Henry is the European champion. He's being accompanied by some females. Tom Pritchard is the referee for this one. He's wearing some blue pants. Guess he forgot to bring some black ones. Those are bright blue, royal blue pants Tom Pritchard is wearing. Mark Henry is saying that there's not going to be a European title match. Lillian Garcia slapped Mark Henry because Mark Henry hit on her and said something inappropriate to her. So Mark Henry said he doesn't feel good now because he got slapped, so he can't defend the European title. Meanwhile, here comes D'Lo Brown to destroy him. So yeah, I kind of wonder who's going to win this match because I don't remember. Oh, D'Lo is starting the match. They're in the entryway. I hope D'Lo wins. Come on, D'Lo. D'Lo was a big fan favorite at this time. He also had great theme music. They're in the ring now. D'Lo landing punches. Oh. Mark Henry pressed up. Oh, wow. Sky high. 1, 2. D'Lo just hit a sky high on Mark Henry. This is early on in the match. What the? This is a... D'Lo just did a snapmare on Mark Henry. This is kind of a weird way of wrestling Mark Henry because it's making him look... Okay. 1, 2. D'Lo did a move off the ropes, like an elbow. But it's making Mark Henry look a little weak here because he's getting beaten up by somebody half his size. I shouldn't say half his size. D'Lo's a big guy himself, but Mark Henry's like 400 pounds. And D'Lo's moving Mark Henry around like he's a cruiserweight. Kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. Mark Henry went to do a move on D'Lo. D'Lo was like leaning against the middle rope. And D'Lo moved and Mark Henry got caught up in the ropes. Mark Henry went to the outside. And then D'Lo dove to the outside just now and took down Mark Henry. They're both back outside now. Whoa. They just showed a replay. D'Lo went over the top rope to the outside. Now, D'Lo's down the top turnbuckle. Whoa, cross body on Mark Henry. 1, 2. Mark Henry kicked out. Remember, this is for the European title. Again, I'm hoping D'Lo wins this one. Oh, wow. Mark Henry just pressed up D'Lo and World's Strongest Slam. Although I don't know if that was his finishing move at this time. But that's what it was. 1, 2, D'Lo kicked out. He got the shoulder up. Yeah, but that was the World's Strongest Slam right there. And I don't even know what Mark Henry's finishing move at this time was. Mark Henry was more known for his character work at this time than his matches. Clothesline by Mark Henry. Mark Henry doing a double by pose. Remember, Mark Henry was an Olympian. He's one of the strongest men in the world, for real. All right, now Mark Henry's got a chin lock on D'Lo Brown. You remember there was a chin lock in the previous match. Everybody loves chin locks in the Attitude Era. Lots of rest holds. And that was okay back then because people loved the character so much. They could pretty much just do whatever they wanted in the ring. The matches were secondary to the storylines, the characters, and stuff like that. Oh, wow. Mark Henry just threw D'Lo to the mat. Now, in my opinion, like, as I just said, in the Attitude Era, the matches were secondary to the storylines. And these days, the matches are the primary focus. The storylines are secondary because they're not that great. I mean, I know people like WWE storytelling these days because it's much better than it was like 5 years ago, but it's still kind of lame and predictable. Now, professional wrestling is at its best when you're having great matches with great stories. You know, you great storylines, great characters, great matches. So when you put all that together, then you got something special. And that's what the WWF was doing back in, like, I would say the year 2000. If you go and watch the shows from that era, they were firing on all cylinders. They got it all. They got the characters. They got the storylines. They had the matches. They had the promos. They had the, you know, they had everything. They had everything. And that's why they were on fire in the year 2000. D'Lo just went for a cover on Mark Henry. I mean, 2000 was awesome, but things started getting real good at this time in 1999, the second half. That's when things started heating up. And I would say, yeah, pretty much as soon as 2000 started, that's when things started getting real, like, whoa, real super exciting. The matches on fire. And not just the matches on the pay-per-views, but a lot of times they had Raw main events that were excellent. Because you had so much talent at that time. Think about it. In 2000, obviously you have Rock and Triple H at the top of the card. Mick Foley also for the first couple of months of the year. Then you also had new guys coming in. Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Eddie Guerrero. They left WCW, joined WWF. You also had Kurt Angle becoming, you know, probably the best rookie in professional wrestling history. Obviously, you had Chris Jericho, who had came to WWF in 1999. And then obviously you had the hardcore division, which had all these 24/7 title matches going on throughout 2000. Then you had the tag team division with the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, the Acolyte Protection Agency. It was like a dream. You want to see great pro wrestling? Watch Raw, SmackDown, and the pay-per-views from 2000. This is probably one of the longest matches of Mark Henry's career. Holy cow. And they're not doing too many special things here. But D'Lo Brown just did a Hurricane Rana on Mark Henry. Again, you know, the way D'Lo is wrestling Mark Henry is being made to look like he's not the world's strongest man. Like, D'Lo is manhandling him right from the beginning of the match. D'Lo is picking up steam here. Heel kick to Mark Henry's face. Now he's calling for his leg drop. And he hits it. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Mark Henry gets the shoulder up. Oh my goodness. D'Lo Brown just got like a power bomb on Mark Henry. He's going to the top rope. He's frog splash. That should be it. 1, 2, 3. D'Lo Brown is the new European champion. As it should be. And the crowd got to their feet when he went for that frog splash. They love it. Ooh, that was a short title reign by Mark Henry, only a couple weeks. Farouk and Bradshaw getting interviewed backstage by Michael Cole. They just showed Chaz getting beat up by a bunch of wrestlers because there are allegations that he beat up his girlfriend Mariana. Here comes Jeff Jarrett. Intercontinental Champion Jeff Jarrett. I think Jeff Jarrett is facing China. Jeff Jarrett put an open contract on his locker room door one time on, I think it was Raw or SmackDown, and China signed the contract because she wants to compete for the Intercontinental Championship. So I believe that's this match. Here comes Jeff Jarrett with Miss Kitty and no Deborah. Here comes China. She was still using Triple H's theme music at this time, My Time. And she was very popular. I think a lot of people want her to win this Intercontinental title here. And probably a lot of people are expecting her to win this title. 1999 was a big year for China. She competed at the Royal Rumble, and she obviously got eliminated. She competed at the King of the Ring, had a very good match against the Road Dogg at the King of the Ring. Obviously, she didn't win that tournament either. There was also a period of time where she was the #1 contender to Steve Austin's WWF Championship in the lead up to, I believe it was, I don't know if it was Fully Loaded or SummerSlam. I think it was SummerSlam, yeah. It was going to be China versus Steve Austin at SummerSlam. That's what it was going to be for a period of time. And now here she is competing for the Intercontinental title. So she's been a big part of WWF programming during the year 1999. Major star. By the way, everyone is cheering for every bit of offense coming from China. They want to see her win this title. The match has begun, and China has landed some moves on Jeff. Hey, China just low-blowed Jeff. Harvey Whippleman is the referee, but he didn't call anything. China just clotheslined Jeff over the top rope. And the crowd is going nuts. They want to see China win this title. Wow. Oh, wow. Jeff Jarrett just pulled China spread eagle into the ring post. Crowd chanting for China. Jeff Jarrett just threw China into the ring post and is rolling her back in the ring. Jeff is going to the top turnbuckle here. And crossbody on China. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. China presses him off. And Jeff looks shocked at how strong China is. Oh, big drop kick by Jeff on China. China just clotheslined Jeff. China is standing on the ring apron, climbing to the top. Oh, Jeff goes for a pinning combination. Jeff Jarrett going for an armbar takedown off the second rope. He hit it. Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young are sitting ringside. And Jeff Jarrett has attacked them as well. In the lead up to this match, he was attacking various women. Jeff Jarrett has the sleeper locked in on China. Man, every match on the show has a period where they do like a rest hold in the middle of the match. Now, although the fans really wanted D'Lo to win the European title, and here they want China to win the Intercontinental title, they're not super into any of these matches because most of these matches are just real average. China fighting out of that sleeper, and Jeff trying to do it again, but instead, China vertical suplex on Jeff Jarrett. I'm telling you, every bit of offense that China lands, the crowd's going crazy. Because they want to see history. They want to see China become the very first female Intercontinental Champion. I mean, the novelty of that. Oh, China just hit a power slam on Jeff Jarrett. Oh, power bomb by China. 1, 2. Jeff gets the shoulder up. Oh, wow. Power bomb to China by Jeff. Jeff is calling for the figure 4 leg lock. And China kicks him off. Jeff flies over the top rope. I'm telling you, it does make this match interesting because the stakes are really high here. You could see a brand new female Intercontinental Champion if China wins. I mean, that by itself is enough to watch this match and pay attention to every move. That's why the crowd is kind of glued into this. I will say they're having the best match on the show so far. Oh, wow. China just hit Jarrett with a steel chair in the back, and apparently the referee's going to allow that. Okay. Wow, China just dropped him face first into that chair, which she set up. She unfolded it. China just backdropped Jeff over the announce table, Spanish announce table. China going for the pedigree in the middle of the ring. Instead, Jeff Jarrett catapulted China into the referee. Referee has been taken out now. Jeff Jarrett is calling for Miss Kitty to give him his guitar. Jeff Jarrett, well known for using a guitar as a weapon, still does that to this day in AEW. Moolah and Mae Young are in the ring, taking the guitar away from Jeff Jarrett. And Moolah and Mae are beating up Jeff. They're punching him. They're going back and forth. And Jeff is actually selling for these extremely old women. And they're going for a double suplex on Jeff Jarrett, and they hit it. This is ridiculous. What the heck is this? Yo, Jeff Jarrett just hit a double clothesline on Moolah and Mae Young. Yo, this is nuts. Definitely the best match on the show so far. Oh, wow. He just punted Mae Young right in the stomach. And punted Moolah right in the stomach. Wow. This is nuts. The crowd is getting a show here. Deborah is now walking to the ring. Yo, Jeff is still stomping on Moolah. I think Deborah's had enough. Deborah just pushed down Miss Kitty. This is how you put on an entertaining show, when you have a man versus a woman. Deborah now. Deborah's got the guitar and just hit Jeff in the head with the guitar. Now people think China's about to win here. They're going nuts. They're excited. See, they're having a good match. China going for the cover. 1, 2, 3. China has pinned Jeff Jarrett and wins the Intercontinental Championship. You can see women in the crowd how happy they are. She has made history. Oh, but right when Harvey Whippleman was about to hand the title belt to China, Tom Pritchard, one of the other scab referees who are filling in for the other referees who are on strike, just ran to the ring, took the belt away, and is showing Harvey Whippleman. He's showing Harvey Whippleman the replay of Deborah hitting Jeff Jarrett in the head with a guitar. And now they're disqualifying China, apparently. And Jeff Jarrett is going to remain Intercontinental Champion. Now, China is beating the heck out of Tom Pritchard. Oh, low blow to Tom Pritchard. Now, she's about to hit a pedigree on him. And hits it. Well, that was the most entertaining thing on the show so far, without question. Worth watching if you haven't seen it. China, Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title at Unforgiven 99. That was a good piece of entertainment. So obviously this feud with China and Jeff Jarrett will continue. They face each other again at No Mercy 1999, which is in October of 1999. for the Intercontinental title. Lawler and Jim Ross are talking about how Bulldog and The Rock have begun a little bit of a feud. So that's something to look out for in the main event. British Bulldog and The Rock. I believe the next match will be the Dudley Boyz versus the Acolytes, Farouk and Bradshaw. This was right after the Dudley Boyz debuted in the WWF. They came from ECW and went on to become one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I mean, if you just look at their work from the year 2000, my goodness. What they did with the Hardys and Edge and Christian. I mean, and all going into 2001 as well. I mean, they really just freaking etched their name into history forever. All three of those teams. They're showing Sergeant Slaughter, Harvey Whippleman, and some other people leading the women to the back. Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah, who were assaulted by Jeff Jarrett. Dudley Boyz are the heels in this match. Bubba Ray just said Charlotte, North Carolina sucks. Oh, Acolytes running into the ring. They want to get their hands on Bubba Ray and Devon. Bradshaw and Devon on the outside. Jimmy Corderas is the referee. I think he's one of the... Oh, I think he's the only referee who didn't go on strike. He crossed the picket line. Bubba Ray, getting double teamed by the Acolytes. They just lifted him up and planted him face first into the mat. Big boot to the face by Bradshaw on Bubba Ray. Bradshaw goes for the cover. Didn't get a 3, though. Whoa, Bubba Ray just jumped off the middle rope and did a senton bomb on Bradshaw. 1, 2, Bradshaw gets the shoulder up. Bradshaw, he's about to get, oh no. Bubba Ray was about to attack Bradshaw again from the middle rope, but Bradshaw has countered thanks to help from Farouk and suplexed him off the middle rope. Devon just broke up the cover by Bradshaw and Bubba Ray. Oh, jeez. Bradshaw just Irish whipped Bubba Ray into the steel steps. Oh, Bradshaw went for the clothesline from hell. Bubba Ray countered belly to belly. Oh no, belly to back. Now Bubba Ray has tagged in Devon. Devon and Bradshaw in the ring. Devon wearing black overalls and a purple cutoff shirt. Oh, shoulder block by Devon on Bradshaw. Devon is the brains of the Dudley Boyz. NXT is going to the ECW arena next week. And Bubba Ray is probably going to be there in a match, but I hope Devon shows up and pulls out some tables. I can almost guarantee you that is what's going to happen. Farouk going for the cover on Devon. DDT by Devon on Farouk. Devon just tagged in Bubba Ray. And they sort of hit a 3D. Oh. Bubba Ray went for the cover on Bradshaw after that modified 3D, and Bradshaw got the shoulder up. Oh, wow. Bubba Ray just hit a power bomb on Bradshaw. Flying headbutt by Devon Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Bradshaw got the shoulder up again. I don't know how Bradshaw's kicking out of these major moves. Remember, the Dudley Boyz are a new team. They got to be made to look good here. What is this? Oh, Devon is on the top turnbuckle. Got pulled down by Farouk. Now Bradshaw is about to give him a back suplex. Off the top turnbuckle. Jeez. Oh, man, he landed it. Bradshaw went for the cover. And Devon got his shoulder up. I don't know how these guys are kicking out of these enormous moves. But you know what the sad thing is? The crowd doesn't care at all. They're totally out of this match. But I can see that the way they laid this match out, they would probably be expecting enormous reactions from the crowd, and they're not getting any. Oh, wow. You know, Bubba Ray just hit a Bulldog on Bradshaw. Devon went for the cover, but Bradshaw got the shoulder up from that, too. Wait a second. Oh, 3D on Farouk. There you go. Clothesline from hell to Bubba Ray by Bradshaw. Wow. Stevie Richards ran into the ring, super kicked Devon in the face, and he's dressed like one of the Acolytes, Stevie Richards. I don't know what that was about. Now the Acolytes are beating up Stevie Richards, who just helped him. He helped them win the match. And this is the thanks he gets. He gets a Dominator by Farouk, and now he's going to get something from Bradshaw. Power bomb straight to hell. You know, Stevie Richards has said that his WWF contract was typically $75,000 per year. And you know, that's really not a good deal for somebody who was around during the Attitude Era. Well, I mean, he was literally the lowest that it gets in terms of like his value on the roster. I mean, his perceived value, I guess. Not his actual value, but his perceived value. He was literally the very last name on the roster. Anyway, 75 grand a year. You have to keep in mind, they have to pay for a lot of expenses because they're self-employed. They're not actually employees. Remember, they got to pay for health insurance and whatever else they have. And Stevie Richards has broken it down, and it was like they really weren't. He wasn't really making that much money, and he really tried to save money, but you know, for what he went through, was it worth what he got? I don't know. Now, obviously, the bigger stars on the show that were making millions, of course it's worth it. You know, you can go through anything you want, you know, and if you're getting paid millions, it's all worth it. Ivory and Luna Vachon are apparently having a hardcore match. Oh, geez, it's for the WWF Women's title, which I believe Ivory is the champion. They're fighting in the back, so I guess the match has started in the back. Wow, Ivory just threw like a tray of ice that had drinks in it, at Luna and completely missed. The tray hit the wall. I don't know, at this time, women having hardcore matches wasn't exactly the most entertaining thing. They're fighting in an office now. Luna put Ivory's face in a copy machine. Yeah, this is nothing compared to the men's hardcore title matches at this time. This is a train wreck. Okay, Luna just threw Ivory headfirst into a door and into another door. So far, this has been one of the worst hardcore matches I've ever seen. Now, wow, this is a disaster. Ivory put Luna headfirst into a trash can and then tried to pin her with the trash can on Luna's head, but her shoulders weren't down. So the referee refused to count the 3. This is just a complete mess. Luna just threw Ivory on top of a bunch of boxes. And the other thing is, nothing that they're doing to each other looks that painful. That's another problem. This is a hardcore match for the women's title. And it's really more of a comedy than it is anything else. Okay, well, Luna did a big splash onto Ivory. Luna jumped from a forklift onto Ivory, who was laying on a bunch of boxes. And that didn't get the job done. This is comical. Nothing that they're doing looks like it hurts at all. Okay, that would have hurt. Luna had some kind of sweeper or something and tried to hit Ivory with it, but Ivory moved and that thing just broke and shattered. Oh, hang on a second. Tori has showed up to interfere in this match and attack Ivory. That didn't work. Ivory just punched her and she just landed in a road case. But Ivory has this big stick now and I think tried to break it over Luna, but wasn't strong enough, so it didn't break. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Wow. That was maybe one of the most terrible matches I've seen, but it was funny though, because it was funny for how bad it was. Don't watch that match. It's terrible. Ivory versus Luna at Unforgiven 99 is a terrible match. Lillian Garcia is interviewing Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young because they were attacked by Jeff Jarrett earlier. Now Ivory is interrupting their interview and Fabulous Moolah and Ivory are fighting. Now I'm aware that this eventually leads to a women's title match at No Mercy, 1999 in October. And the match is between Fabulous Moolah, who's extremely old at this time. But Fabulous Moolah and Ivory have a match at No Mercy. But I give a lot of credit to Moolah and Mae Young. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding Fabulous Moolah because supposedly she was involved with some, inappropriate or illegal things. But I give credit to her and Mae Young for always being involved in wrestling throughout their lives. And they took bumps even when they were in their 70s and 80s. So, they did live great lives while they were alive. They have both since passed away. Here comes Edge and Christian, though. Oh, Edge and Christian will be facing the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, right now for the WWF Tag Team Championships. All right. Let's see if this is a good match. Should be. I mean, both of these teams are two of the best tag teams of all time. Now, throughout 1999, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn were not teaming together that much. First, at the beginning of the year, they were on the same side as each other, but they were competing for singles championships. I know Road Dogg became Hardcore Champion and Intercontinental Champion. I think Billy Gunn, he became Hardcore Champion at one point. He also won the King of the Ring in 1999. But then they reunited, and now they're together again. Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. Here comes Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Now, I forget if they're heels or not. I think they are heels. They most recently defeated The Rock and Mankind for the WWF Tag Team Championships. That apparently happened right before this show. Like a week before or something. I guess they're baby faces. Because Jim Ross is talking about them in a complimentary way. Oh, they just mentioned that X-Pac will be facing Chris Jericho later. This will be Chris Jericho's very first WWF pay-per-view match on this show. That's later. Road Dogg is doing his very famous introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. And the crowd loves the Outlaws. 1999 was definitely the peak of the careers of Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. But Billy Gunn is having a lot of fun these days in AEW too. So, Billy Gunn has always been involved in wrestling in one way or another. So, Road Dogg is still involved in wrestling as well. Not as an active in-ring performer though. All right, now I'm expecting a good match from these guys. Remember, up to this point, Jeff Jarrett and Chyna had the best match on the show. So let's see. Yeah, the Dudley Boyz and the Acolytes, that match was very average. And I bet they were expecting a better response from the crowd during their match because they went for a lot of false finishes at the end. But the crowd didn't really care. So, no. All right, this match is about to start. Tag titles on the line. Edge and Christian at this point had never won the WWF Tag Team Championships. Not yet. This is still very early on in their careers. Both Edge and Christian debuted in the WWF in 1998. So they've only been around for about a year. Meanwhile, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg have been in the WWF for many years at this point. Billy Gunn and Edge are starting the match. Obviously, Edge and Christian are still active performers in AEW. Christian Cage is one of the biggest parts of that company. And Edge, I think, is out of action with an injury. But he was also a big part of the company while he was not injured. Side headlock by Billy Gunn on Edge. Billy Gunn. Oh, Edge leapfrog Billy Gunn. Edge arm drag. Another arm drag on Billy Gunn. Another arm drag on Billy Gunn. You know, one thing about Billy Gunn is that he's such an incredible athlete, especially at this time in his career, and his selling is so out of control. He makes his opponent's offense look so good. Like he could jump so high, and he's like flying around the ring at any time he's on the receiving end of offense from anybody. Like if you go look at his match against, who was it? Against Kane. I think that was at the King of the Ring. Go watch that match. Go watch the match against The Rock and Billy Gunn at SummerSlam. And his athleticism really makes his opponents look good. Road Dogg is now in the ring. Goes for a roll-up on Edge. Edge kicks out. Side headlock by Road Dogg. Oh, Christian tagged in and drop kicked Road Dogg. It's funny how Christian Cage evolved so much over the past. Remember, this is 25 years ago. And to this day, I mean, Christian Cage literally was on AEW last night, and he's part of a big angle on the show. So it's like, it's so funny how Christian has evolved. I mean, at this time, he really was pretty much an afterthought. And man, 25 years later, one of the biggest parts of the wrestling company that he works for. Christian is definitely one of my favorites of all time, and one of the most underrated performers probably in wrestling history. Billy Gunn has like a camel clutch on Christian Cage right now. This is a lot slower pace than I was expecting. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. Billy Gunn just tagged in Road Dogg. Whoa. Billy Gunn presses Christian up over his head and drops him on Road Dogg's knee. Road Dogg goes for the cover. 1, 2. Christian kicks out. Road Dogg Irish whips Christian. Christian kicks Road Dogg. Now he goes to tag and Edge. Drop kick by Edge on Road Dogg. Edge knocks down Billy Gunn off the ring apron. Oh, Road Dogg hitting his trademark jabs on Edge. Shake, rattle, and roll. Road Dogg knocks down Edge. And now he's going for his patented knee drop. Hits it. Goes for the cover. Christian breaks up the pinfall attempt. Oh, now Edge and Christian double teaming Road Dogg. Throw him over the top rope to the outside. Christian goes to the outside. And Irish whips Road Dogg right into the steel steps. That's like the third or fourth match on the show that has had that spot. Irish whipping their opponent into the steel steps. Edge attacking Road Dogg on the outside now. Oh, Edge is targeting the lower back of Road Dogg because Chris Jericho actually took out Road Dogg a few weeks earlier by powerbombing him through a table. And Road Dogg was out for a couple of weeks, came back, surprisingly won the tag titles with Billy Gunn from The Rock and Mankind, and now here they are. So, but they are targeting Road Dogg's back now because they know he got injured recently. Ooh, backbreaker by Christian on Road Dogg. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Road Dogg gets the shoulder up. Now, oh great. Christian has a chin lock on Road Dogg. That's probably the third or fourth chin lock of this night. They love rest holds during the Attitude Era. In almost every match, somebody locks in a rest hold and just stays there. Crowd is clapping for Road Dogg, trying to will him back into this thing. Road Dogg is getting up now. Christian still has that hold locked in. Road Dogg fights out. Oh, double cross body. But Road Dogg, yeah, Road Dogg and Christian took each other out. And this match is okay so far. They're giving them time to work here. That's at least a good thing. It's not going to be rushed. Tag titles are on the line, by the way. Edge prevents Road Dogg from making the tag to Billy Gunn. So, remember, Road Dogg has been getting his back destroyed by these two guys. And now they're double teaming him, Edge and Christian. They're kicking him in the corner. All right, Road Dogg. Oh, he got like double slammed by Edge and Christian. And when Christian went for the cover, but Billy Gunn broke it up. So at some point here, Road Dogg is going to make the hot tag to Billy Gunn. And then let's see what happens then. But obviously right now, Road Dogg is just getting whooped by Edge and Christian. Road Dogg is another underrated performer. I mean, he's had some really entertaining singles matches during 1999. If you don't believe me, go watch the January 4th, 1999 episode of Raw. Road Dogg and Al Snow had one of my favorite matches of all time for the hardcore title. They ended up fighting in the snow outside. He had a good match against China at the King of the Ring, which having a good one-on-one match with China, that takes some skill. And he pulled it off. So, oh, Christian almost hit like they did a Hardy Boys type move, Poetry in Motion, Edge and Christian. But Road Dogg countered it and avoided the splash by Christian. But now, oh, Road Dogg just hit a double DDT on Edge and Christian. So within the next minute or so, I'm guessing he's going to get the hot tag to Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is ready for that tag. And is he going to get it? Edge is holding on to Road Dogg's foot to try. Oh, no, he got the tag to Billy Gunn. Now Billy Gunn's beating the heck out of Edge and Christian. Yeah, Billy Gunn is destroying Edge and Christian by himself now. Power slam by Billy Gunn on Christian. Goes for the cover. Edge breaks it up. Here comes the Road Dogg. Beating up Edge. Christian goes for the reverse DDT on Billy Gunn. Road Dogg going for a pump handle slam on Christian. Christian counters. Wait a second. Gangrel and Matt Hardy are beating up Christian. They pulled Christian out of the ring and started beating him up. And then Billy Gunn just hit the famous are on edge. 1, 2, 3. The New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, just retained the tag titles thanks to interference from Gangrel and Matt Hardy. That match was okay. Nothing spectacular. Oh, Matt and Jeff and Gangrel are running to the back. Edge and Christian are running after them. Now, obviously, those teams, they wind up having a feud of their own. I mean, they've kind of been involved in some kind of a feud throughout the year 1999. But then they get into this best of 7 series of matches to compete for the managerial services of Terry Runnels. So they have 7 matches against each other, and the final match takes place at the following pay-per-view, which is No Mercy 1999. And it's a tag team ladder match with $100,000 hanging above the ring. And whoever gets that $100,000, they also get the managerial services of Terry Runnels. So that match takes place at the next pay-per-view. And that's one of my favorite matches of all time. I actually have a live reaction to that match on my channel if you haven't seen that video. One of the best matches you'll ever see. Tag team ladder match. No Mercy 1999. Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys. Now, Chris Jericho, I don't know if that's the next match, but Chris Jericho will be facing off against X-Pac in his very first WWF pay-per-view match. Now, the backstage story between the feud, about the feud between Jericho and X-Pac was that Vince McMahon was disappointed with Jericho's in-ring work. Obviously, Jericho had one of the greatest debuts in WWF history when he interrupted a promo by The Rock and cemented himself as a top heel in the company in one night. In his first night, he cemented himself. But for whatever reason, like The Rock and Jericho had a match on a Monday Night Raw, like a few weeks after that, and that match was not very good. If you go back and watch, it's really like, you know, I think there was a little confusion between The Rock and Jericho. Like The Rock didn't understand Jericho's style. I don't know, but it just didn't go well. And Jericho just wasn't having great matches. And they signed him to a big contract. He was like a big signing. He came from WCW. And so their plan was, okay, let's have a feud between Jericho and X-Pac because everyone can work with X-Pac. That was the idea backstage. It's like, if he can't have a good match with X-Pac, well, he can't have a good match with anybody. So that's the idea going into this match with X-Pac. Triple H and British Bulldog were being interviewed backstage. Oh no. Michael Cole is interviewing Big Boss Man. He has a Kennel from Hell match with Al Snow. Yeah, this is like, I don't know if it's like a Hell in a Cell match. I think it is like a Hell in a Cell match, but there's going, yeah, oh yeah, they're lowering the cell right now. I mean, the crowd is probably hyped for this match, but I have a feeling it doesn't go as well as people might have thought it was going to go. Anyway, so they are using the Hell in a Cell structure, but the idea behind this is that there's going to be dogs, real dogs, running around the ring the whole time. And I believe the whole idea behind this is because Bossman and Al Snow are having a feud, and some of it involves Al Snow's dog, Pepper. So anyway, there will be dogs running around the ring. Yeah, let's see how this one works out. So, yeah, here's the weird thing. There's like 2 cages. They're using the old, blue steel cage inside of the Hell in the Cell. And the only way to win this match is to escape the blue cage and then escape the cell as well. Oh, that's right. You know what happened? Boss Man actually, I guess he had Al Snow's dog, or maybe he killed Al Snow's dog and then cooked Al Snow's dog and fed it to Al Snow. That's actually what happened in this feud. I remember now. And Al Snow is the hardcore champion. So he just said that he's doing this in memory of Pepper. He's going to beat Boss Man. Here he comes. Al Snow, hardcore champion. Again, this is the type of matches you got in the hardcore division. This kind of ridiculous stuff, which is why I love the hardcore title matches in 1999 and 2000. I mean, it is the greatest stuff you will ever see. And 2001, actually. They had some good matches there. If you go to WrestleMania 17, Raven, Big Show, and Kane had a very entertaining hardcore title match. And I totally was not expecting them to have an entertaining match. And they really impressed everyone with what they did. So Raven is like a 27-time hardcore champion. So Raven is another guy who is underrated, and he's actually been a pivotal part of professional wrestling history. He was the guy who was the United States champion when Bill Goldberg was around, and Goldberg challenged him for the US title, and they had one of my favorite matches ever. It was only about 5 minutes long, but it was so entertaining from start to finish. I did a live reaction to that on my channel as well, that match. And that's when Goldberg became US champion for the first time. Also, Raven was pivotal in the early career of CM Punk. He's another guy who doesn't get the credit he deserves. And unfortunately, I think the effects of professional wrestling and like the damage it's done to his body has also done damage to his mind. Stevie Richards has mentioned that. Raven is feeling the effects of a very long, brutal wrestling career. Here comes Big Boss Man. And he does not look happy to be participating in this match. You should see the look on Boss Man's face. He looks depressed, having to be involved with this. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Al Snow has talked about this match since it happened. Like, I don't think Boss Man or Al Snow thought this match was going to go well, but they were just going to do the best they could. Because, again, it involves dogs running around the ring and stuff. By the way, I don't see any dogs yet. Well, the match has started. Boss Man and Al Snow are fighting. No dogs to be found anywhere. Oh, wow. Al Snow took Big Boss Man's nightstick and hit him. Yeah, and if you thought that the Ivory Luna match was a disaster, I thought it was a disaster. Let's see this one now. Oh, here comes the dogs now. They're being led to the ring. It looks like a bunch of Rottweilers. Again, you don't see this kind of stuff in today's WWE. This is like... This is beyond ridiculous, but I love it, though. Okay, the dogs are still on the outside of the cell, so I think Boss Man and Al Snow might be stalling because they're like waiting for the dogs to get in. Like the match has come to a complete stop as they wait for the dogs to enter the cell. And Al Snow is on the inside of the blue cage. Now the dogs are in between the blue cage and the cell, and Boss Man and Al Snow are fighting on the blue cage. Wow. Boss Man is standing on the blue cage on the outside of it, and Al Snow was like trying to prevent him from entering by whacking the cage with like the end of a shovel. And now you hear the dogs barking. I guarantee you Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler sitting ringside looking at this are like, this is the most ridiculous thing they've ever seen. And it's probably a bad idea to have this type of thing going on. They literally could have just had a cage match. I mean, they didn't have to... I mean, this makes it funnier, though. Now, Al Snow is climbing the outside cage. That's the Hell in a Cell structure. But there's really no reason for him to climb it because there's a roof on the cell. So he can't escape that way. You know, all he had to do was actually escape the cell and he would have won just now. So, in terms of ring psychology, I don't know what he's doing here. But it's funny, though. The crowd is not liking this, by the way. You can hear the groans. But Big Boss Man just did hit a huge suplex on Al Snow off the blue cage. And the crowd did not care at all about that. Because they're wondering what's going on with these dogs that are barking and barking and barking and... Oh, man. Anyway, Al Snow brought a bag of weapons to the ring, and now Big Boss Man is going through that bag. And, yeah, Boss Man just threw Al Snow into the blue cage. The side of the blue cage. And he did it again, threw him into the other side of the steel cage. And these dogs are barking, but they're not exactly running around the cage because the people who are handling them are just holding them by leashes. So I'm not sure what purpose they serve other than to bark and make noise. But it's funny. Like whoever came up with this idea, wow. I can almost guarantee you the other wrestlers sitting in the back watching this are laughing so hard. I know Mankind used to take great pleasure in watching Al Snow have terrible matches. Like Mick Foley, I think somewhere, I forget where it is. I think it was on a Mankind or DVD. He did like a special commentary of this match, the Kennel from Hell match. I don't know, it's somewhere, I'm sure you can find it online. But I know Mick Foley is watching this laughing so hard, even though he's in the main event of this show. All right, now Boss Man is scaling the blue cage. The crowd is extremely bored by this match. They can't really follow it because they're like not really doing anything, Boss Man and Al Snow. They're not really having a match. They do a move and then there's this long break and then they do a move and then there's this long break and then the dogs are barking. Okay, Boss Man for some reason is cutting open the top of the cell and then Al Snow just broke some weapon off his back. Yeah, this is pro wrestling. I wouldn't say pro wrestling at its worst because, you know, when people have bad matches, it's not entertaining at all. This is entertaining because of, it's like so bad that it's good. I always like that. I will always enjoy something that's so bad that it's good. But sometimes people just have plain bad matches. That would be like Jenna Maraska and Sharmell in TNA. If you go watch TNA Victory Road from, I don't know what year it was, but Sharmell, who is Booker T's wife, faced off against some reality star named Jenna Maraska from the show Survivor, and that was just a terrible match. It wasn't even funny. This is at least like funny just because you know Al Snow and Big Boss Man do not want to be out there in this match right now, and they're being laughed at by everyone in the back. You know that's what's going on. Okay, now Al Snow has the end of a shovel, and he smacked Boss Man in the back with it. I don't know why the dog stopped barking. Excuse me. Yo, this crowd is like, what are we watching here? Because they're not even having a good match. See, that's the one thing that Al Snow and Boss Man can control is their own action in the ring. Like, they can have a good match here if they wanted to, but they're just like not. There's nothing stopping them from having a good match. They're just like not putting any effort into this at all. Bossman just hit Al Snow in the back of the head with a shovel. Well, the back of the head with the end of the shovel. But remember, this is pro wrestling, so it's fake. And he didn't want to hurt Al Snow, so he hit him so lightly that it made it look so fake. And like you're like, because remember, it's supposed to be a fight, right? You're supposed to try to hurt your opponent. And that just made it very clear that Bossman didn't want to hurt Al Snow. Now he's handcuffing Al Snow to the top turnbuckle. You know, Bossman and Al Snow did have some entertaining matches during 1999. Like, they had a match at Fully Loaded, that was funny. It was also for the hardcore title. They had a match at SummerSlam that was funny. Also for the hardcore title. But this is not their best work here. But boy, I bet there's some fans there wondering why did they buy a ticket to this show after watching that Ivory Luna Vachon match, and this it's just like ugh. Again, still to this point, Jeff Jarrett and Chyna had the best match on the show. And this is definitely the worst one. But it is very laughable. Oh, Al Snow is shaking the blue cage. Oh, and then Bossman was on the cage and he fell, and now he's landed crotch first on the top rope. Man, this is probably the lowest point of these guys' careers. Al Snow has his mannequin head, and he hit Bossman right in the head with it. All right, now it looks like Al Snow might be trying to win the match now. So he's going to try to escape the blue cage first. Whew, this is like the precursor to the Punjabi prison match. Have you ever seen one of those? That is, it's the same concept. It's like you have two cages, and you got to escape both of them, and that's how you win. But the Punjabi prison, the way they construct it, it's like the crowd who's there, they can't actually see what's going on because the Punjabi prison is made of bamboo. So like the cell or structure, the cage structure of the Punjabi prison, the bamboo is so thick that you can't really see the people doing anything in the ring. So they rarely get much of a reaction. There's only been a couple of Punjabi prison matches, and they were all bad. Anyway, so Al Snow managed to escape both cages just now, and he won the match. And now Bossman is standing on top of the cell. So technically he has escaped both as well. But Al Snow won the match. The crowd is not reacting at all because they're like, what did we just watch here? And what was the point of the dogs? The dogs were just standing outside the ring, doing nothing, because the handlers were holding them by the leash the whole time, so they didn't actually play a role in the match. Boy, I bet Al Snow and Bossman are just furious that they had to participate in that. You know, now that I remember it, Al Snow didn't really do a whole lot more after 1999. I just remember he had a whole bunch of fun hardcore matches throughout 99, like this. Well, I mean, this wasn't great, but it was ridiculous at least. And then he got into a little bit of a short feud with The Rock, actually. And that was kind of entertaining. Anytime you get to see a lower card wrestler face off against a main eventer like The Rock, it was always entertaining. Like, I remember The Rock, obviously he had a match against Billy Gunn at SummerSlam. He has a match against British Bulldog at No Mercy 1999, and obviously he has a match against Al Snow on either a Raw or SmackDown near the end of the year. But it's hilarious to watch because the matches get insane reactions because The Rock is involved, and it's like probably the biggest reaction Al Snow ever got in a match ever because he doesn't get to compete with the main eventers. That's like one of the few exceptions. Michael Cole is interviewing Mankind. Michael Cole is asking Mankind about what he's going to do if he has to go one-on-one with The Rock in the main event here. Because this was at a time when Mankind and The Rock were part of a tag team called the Rock and Sock Connection, which was one of the most entertaining duos in WWF history. And actually, that's actually what led to the match against Al Snow later. Because Al Snow somehow gets involved with the Rock and Sock Connection. And Al Snow was insulting The Rock because he didn't like The Rock. And The Rock didn't like that, so he ended up beating the heck out of him. Here comes Chris Jericho for his very first WWF pay-per-view match. And you can tell how early on this is in Jericho's WWF career because he has a manager named Curtis Hughes. I believe it's Curtis Hughes or Mr. Hughes, something like that. There was a very brief period of time where he had this manager. And this is one of the matches where he has a manager. Chris Jericho versus X-Pac. Now, these guys have faced each other before in WCW. But they have not had a pay-per-view match here in WWF. Should be good. I mean, those guys were both cruiserweight. Was it cruiserweight champions? Yeah, I believe they were both cruiserweight champions in WCW. Jericho was also a TV champion. That's when he really got popular, I believe. Oh, no. He started out as a cruiserweight champion. That's when he started his epic heel run in WCW in 1998. It was like January 98. And that's when he started really getting attention. Eventually, he became the TV champ. Jericho was one of the most entertaining parts of Monday Nitro in 1998. And that's what led to his star power rising and him signing with the WWF in '99. The rest is history. And now Jericho is still a big part of the company that he's competing in, AEW. He is the Ring of Honor World Champion right now, I believe. Jericho's got a microphone. He had great promos in '99. Jericho did. Remember, Chris Jericho is a heel at this time. They're booing him. X-Pac was a big star in 1999, and the crowd loved him. Jericho was like originally in a feud with Ken Shamrock, but apparently, like, he wasn't able to make the show or something. I don't know what happened, but X-Pac eventually became Jericho's opponent for this show. Here comes X-Pac, and the crowd is, whoa, cheering really big for him. '99 was also the peak of X-Pac's career, I would say, too. Not Jericho's career. I mean, Jericho, like, he has had a, like, steady progression. Like, 1998 was great for Jericho. That was, like, my favorite version of Jericho was 1998. Then, 1999, you see Jericho here, which is an okay year for Jericho, because, I mean, he does have some great promos in the WWF. 2000 was a huge year for Jericho. That's when he was like, okay, this guy is probably going to be world champion in WWF one day. And obviously in 2001, that is what happens. He becomes world champion. '02, he main events WrestleMania. So Jericho just steadily got bigger and bigger and bigger. But X-Pac definitely peaked in 1999. The bell has rung. Jericho versus X-Pac. Let's see. Now, if Jericho and X-Pac had been paying attention to what's been going on in the show, they know that the crowd is dying for a really exciting match, and these two are capable of pulling that off. So let's see if they have like a fast-paced, exciting type of, like cruiserweight match that they used to have. Let's see, because that's what they should do here. That would be the smart move to differentiate themselves from the rest of these slow-paced matches that have taken place on this show. Chris Jericho knocks down X-Pac. X-Pac leapfrogs Jericho. Yeah, they're doing some fast-paced stuff here to start off. which is a good idea. Now they just both slapped each other in the face. Oh, chop to X-Pac. Chop to X-Pac again. Punch by Jericho on X-Pac. Right hand. Jericho clothesline to X-Pac. Now, I would expect Jericho to win this match because, again, he's like a big signing by the WWF. So, let's see. Ooh, if X-Pac... I mean, you got to think like Jericho's mood at this time. I've read Chris Jericho's book about this time in WWF. I think this was at a time when he was kind of nervous that his WWF career wasn't playing out the way he thought it would. Like, he had that big debut, and then really nothing much after that. He had some good promos, but like he wasn't figured into the main event or anything. He wasn't like in a big title feud or nothing. He was just sort of floundering around in the first few months after he debuted. And this is his first big opportunity to show that he's a big time star. He's on pay-per-view. He's got to show his stuff. Jericho was in Bronco Buster position. X-Pac went for the Bronco Buster. Jericho moved. So Jericho has all the pressure in the world on him right now. Like the real pressure. Like behind the scenes pressure. Jericho was looking for the walls of Jericho. X-Pac. Whoa, springboard. Wow. From the second rope to the outside onto Jericho. What the? Jericho's manager, Mr. Hughes, just clotheslined X-Pac right in front of the referee, and the referee didn't do anything. I don't know, these scab referees on this show seem to allow cheating. You know, surprisingly, there's only like 1 or 2 matches left on this show. You know, you got the main event, and I'm not sure what the other match is. I mean, this show has moved very quickly. That is one thing about these Attitude Era pay-per-views that I will say. Sometimes you don't get the best matches, but they move quickly. You know, they give you a lot of stuff to... So they have a lot of opportunities to win over the crowd here. Because they have a bunch of matches on the show, typically. And they keep the shows relatively short. I mean, the pay-per-views back then were between 2.5 hours and 3 hours. You know, these days, the WWE will have like 3-hour PLEs, premium live events, and they will only have like 5 matches. I think WWE has a PLE coming up this Saturday that has 7 matches on the card, luckily. So hopefully not all of them are super long. But they fill the time on the show with tons of commercials and video packages and all this stuff that, you know, it's like, we don't want to watch the show for that, you know. Or they're doing stuff to set up what's going to happen on Raw or SmackDown the next week. They're setting up matches for that. Even though this is like this is your big show. Like, you're supposed to treat it like it's a big deal. Chris Jericho, just gave X-Pac a backbreaker. That's why I prefer the Attitude Era shows. You know, they focus on the show itself. They're not trying to set things up for future episodes of Raw, typically. You know, the show itself is the main focus, as it should be. Because this was at a time when people were paying like, I forget the prices. I think it was like $25-$30 a pop for pay-per-views in the WWF in 1999. It's like 25 or 30 bucks. WrestleMania, I think, was like maybe $35. Again, Chris Jericho has a chin lock on X-Pac. This is like I don't know how many matches tonight, but almost every match features a moment in the match where there's a chin lock. And again, that's not what these guys should be doing. They should be doing like a real fireworks match, like a big, high-flying display to keep the crowd into the show, because the crowd has been punished on this show with some of the matches they saw. And just to prove that, right now, as Jericho has his chin locked in, something is going on in the crowd, and everybody's distracted, and they're cheering for something going on in the crowd. That's how much they don't really feel like they've been given their money's worth by what's going on in the ring. X-Pac is trying to fight out of this chin lock by Jericho. Yep, X-Pac fighting out. Elbow by Jericho on X-Pac. Lion salt onto X-Pac. And now Jericho did not go for the cover, but he's landing punches on X-Pac. Oh, now he goes for the cover. 1, 2. What was that? That makes Jericho look dumb. He hits the lion salt but doesn't go for the cover. And then like 10 seconds later, he goes for the cover. I'm not sure if they're saying Jericho sucks or X-Pac sucks. I think they're chanting Jericho sucks. Oh, wow. Jericho springboard dropkick to X-Pac and knocks X-Pac off the ring apron. X-Pac is back in the ring now. My guess is the finish of this match is coming soon. Spinning wheel kick by X-Pac on Jericho. Both guys are down in the middle of the ring. Both guys are back on their feet. Another spinning kick to Jericho by X-Pac. What the? Oh, X-Pac just drop kicked Mr. Hughes on the outside. X-Pac springboard clothesline to Jericho. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Jericho gets the shoulder up. This was also back at a time when Jericho's finishing move was like a double power bomb. Like he would power bomb a guy and then lift him up again and power bomb him again. And I'm like, why would Jericho have like a power move like that? Like Jericho's not this like big, like Bill Goldberg, Brock Lesnar type of wrestler. Why is he having a double power bomb as his finishing move? Oh, backbreaker by Jericho. Yeah, I think the finish is coming here. Jericho is calling for the finish. He's climbing up to the top turnbuckle, Jericho is. And X-Pac hits the ropes, and Jericho lands crotch first on the top turnbuckle. X-Pac looks like he's trying to do a superplex, which he does to Jericho. X-Pac goes for the cover. 1, 2. No. Jericho gets the shoulder up. You can almost feel like the crowd here is just wanting to get to the main event. They're not too impressed with what they've seen tonight. Oh, Jericho. He hits the double power bomb on X-Pac. Remember, that's his finishing move at this time. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. X-Pac gets the shoulder up. He waited too long to get the cover again. But obviously the ending is coming. Oh, X-Pac threw Jericho into the corner. Jericho flipped over and he's in the Tree of Woe now. And X-Pac hits a Bronco Buster on him while he's in the Tree of Woe. Oh, what is this? Jericho's manager, Mr. Hughes, is now in the ring, and he just punched the referee in the face. He just punched X-Pac in the face, and that's a disqualification. So X-Pac wins by disqualification. Here comes Road Dogg. Oh, Road Dogg going after Jericho. Remember, Jericho took out Road Dogg a few weeks earlier by powerbombing him through a table. So Road Dogg and X-Pac are taking care of business. Road Dogg clotheslined Jericho over the top rope. And I believe, wow, I think that is the second to last match on the show. I think there is only one match left. I think it's the main event, the six-pack challenge for the WWF title. And Jericho and Mr. Hughes walking to the back. Oh, yes. Yeah, there is only one match left. That six-pack challenge. All right. And they got one opportunity to save the show. Because really the only decent thing they had on the show was that Jeff Jarrett China match. And even that match wasn't that special. So it all comes down to the main event. But you got some of the most talented people in the industry in that match. You got The Rock, Triple H, Mick Foley, Big Show Kane, and the British Bulldog. Not to mention Austin will be hanging around ringside as the enforcer. Okay, now they're showing a video package showing the lead up to how this match came about. They're showing Mankind winning the WWF Championship at SummerSlam, pinning the champion Steve Austin. Oh yeah. When Triple H won the WWF title, Shane McMahon was the special guest referee. So Triple H became champ. And he was attacking people with a sledgehammer every chance he got. Again, Triple H was a very vicious person at this time. They're showing Triple H bullying Linda McMahon. Then Vince comes. Triple H challenges Vince into a match, and the match is for the WWF title. Steve Austin gave a stunner. Steve Austin gave a stunner to Triple H and placed Vince McMahon over Triple H, and Vince won the WWF title. Then he relinquished the title. So because the referee's on strike, they made Steve Austin the enforcer. Here comes the Big Show. We're gonna have a couple minutes of entrances here because she needs like 7 guys to come out. So like the next 10 minutes are gonna be entrances. Here comes British Bulldog. Now, when British Bulldog made his return to the WWF in 1999, he still wore his old Union Jack tights, which is what he's wearing here tonight. Eventually, because, the Attitude Era was like a different time, and he had to have a bit more of an edge. He started wearing like rolled up jeans, and he wasn't around for long. And then for whatever reason, I forget the exact reason, but he was out of the WWF, and then he passed away at a very young age. British Bulldog. Here comes Mankind. Four out of the six guys in this match are former WWF champions. The only people who haven't won the title at this point yet were obviously Bulldog, who never wins the title, and the Big Show, who became champion only a few months after this event. Oh, Jim Ross just mentioned that Mick Foley's autobiography would be coming out soon after this event, and that was Mick Foley's very first book, Have a Nice Day, which is an excellent book. If you're a wrestling fan, you should definitely read Have a Nice Day by Mick Foley. One of the best books that I've ever read from a wrestler. Here comes Kane. He just made his entrance. Now Triple H is coming. Howard Finkel just announced being accompanied to the ring by the ninth wonder of the world, China, is Triple H. China is nowhere to be found. She is not with Triple H right now. China, remember, had a match earlier in the night where people thought she won the Intercontinental title, but they reversed the decision because Deborah hit Jeff Jarrett in the head with a guitar, and that's a disqualification. So China did not win the title on this night, and she's not out here with Triple H either. Here comes the final participant in the match, The Rock. Ooh, and the crowd going nuts. They're all hoping The Rock wins this one. Remember, The Rock hasn't been champion since WrestleMania 15 when Steve Austin beat The Rock in that match. Mankind counted the 1, 2, 3 in that match. So this is almost 6 months later. And, you know, The Rock hasn't become champion in all that time. So people want him to become champion. Man, the physical condition The Rock is in this show right here. I mean, this is when, you know, Rock's popularity is just getting to levels like never before seen. Late 99 and all throughout 2000, The Rock was on fire. By the way, Jimmy Corderas is the referee for this match, and I believe that plays a role here because remember, Jimmy Corderas is a scab referee. He crossed the picket line. All right, now everybody's out here except for the special enforcer. And here he comes, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, match has started. Bell rang. So The Rock and the British Bulldog are starting this match off. I believe that was decided earlier. And the other four guys are standing outside the ring in each corner. Clothesline by The Rock on British Bulldog. Okay, there will be a new champion in this match. Because remember, the title is currently vacant. Steve Austin is sitting at the commentary table, and he's guaranteeing there will be a new champion. Triple H and The Rock are in the ring now. Clothesline by The Rock. The Rock picked up Triple H. Triple H landed on the top rope, and then Rock went for a cover, got a 2 count, and Jim Ross was like freaking out because the first person to get a pinfall here wins the match and wins the title. Now Kane is in the match. Kane and Triple H here. Whoa, he just picked Triple H up by the throat and slammed him down to the mat. Slam by Kane on Triple H. Oh, Kane just punched Big Show off the ring apron. And I think Kane is climbing to the top turnbuckle. That's why he did that. And now Big Show getting revenge, pushing Kane off the top turnbuckle. Triple H just punched Mankind in the face. Oh, now Mankind fighting back, landing punches on Triple H. And these guys have a rivalry, that's for sure. Which extends into the following year. Kane just knocked down Mankind. Goes for the cover. One count. First person to get a pinfall or submission wins, and becomes the new champion. It's for the WWF title. Big Show tagged himself in. Now he's beating the heck out of Kane. Oh, Big Show. Backbreaker on Kane. Now he's got a submission hold locked in. Stretching Kane's back over his knee. Now Kane, he tried to clothesline the Big Show. Big Show did not fall. Another clothesline to the Big Show. Big Show did not fall again. And Enziguri by Kane. That still didn't knock down the Big Show, but Bulldog tagged himself in. Mankind and the Big Show fighting now. Remember, these two faced each other at WrestleMania 15, and I believe Mankind won by disqualification because Big Show decided to hit him with a steel chair. Now Bulldog, I don't know. Bulldog was in with Mankind. Now The Rock is in with Bulldog. And the crowd, boy, they really want to see The Rock win this title. I mean, The Rock is just, oh, wow. Bulldog got a low blow on The Rock. Austin just said, Bulldog looks as strong as ever. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I think Bulldog's heavy steroid use throughout his life is what led to his early demise. Or part of it, anyway. Part of the reason. Kane just tried to go for a tombstone pile driver. The Rock turned it into a side Russian leg sweep. Went for the cover. Kane kicked out. Yes, Bulldog died from a heart attack. That's what happened. Mankind just hit a pile driver on Kane. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. You know what's funny is the guys on the outside, they're not even trying to break up the cover, even though that cover could lead to them not winning the title. Oh, Mankind Triple H fighting outside the ring. I mean, so far, this has been the best match on the show so far. Mankind and Triple H in the entryway. Triple H just suplexes him right near the entrance where the wrestlers come out. Oh, The Rock just ran up the entryway and clotheslined Triple H. No, he just punched Triple H in the groin. Now Kane is coming up the entryway, fighting with The Rock. It's chaos now. This match is going all over the place. Mankind just Irish whipped Triple H into the steel steps. That's probably like the 7th time we've seen that spot tonight. Jeez, Mankind picked up steel steps and dropped it on Triple H's back. Pile driver to Triple H on the steel steps by Mankind. Anyway, Bulldog is beating up on Mankind now in the ring. Now Kane threw the Rock into the steel steps. The Rock and Mankind working together. Remember, they were tag team champions not too long before this event. The Rock is taunting the Big Show. He just punched Triple H in the face off the ring apron. Now Big Show and Kane. Oh, look at this. All the referees that were on strike, they're marching to the ring. Probably mad at Jimmy Corderas, who was officiating this match. Big Show just dropped an elbow on Mankind. Oh, and The Rock breaks up the pin. As he should. Mankind tags in The Rock. Now it's Rock and Big Show. Uh-oh. Triple H and The Rock fighting on the outside near the announce table. The Rock kicks Triple H, throws him head first into the announce table, takes a bottle of water from Stone Cold, takes a swig and spits it in Triple H's face. Now they're just brawling on the outside. Oh, Mankind hits a DDT on Kane. Kane. Tombstone pile driver on Mankind. Going for the cover. Big Show blind tagged Kane. So Kane cannot pin Mankind after that tombstone. So now Big Show is going for a chokeslam here. Meanwhile, Kane is on the top turnbuckle and clotheslined the Big Show. Now everything's breaking down. Oh, wow. Bulldog with a big slam on Kane. Triple H going for a pedigree on Bulldog. He hit it. The Rock is in the ring with Triple H. People are hoping that The Rock wins here. He just punched Triple H to the outside. Double arm DDT by Mankind on The Rock. Oh, wow. Mankind is pointing to Mr. Sacco. And, oh, he's got Mr. Sacco in The Rock's mouth. Fans are booing. The Rock just hit the rock bottom on Mankind, though. Oh, goes for the cover. 1, 2. Triple H breaks up the pin. We are in the final stages of this match now. Wow, Big Show just slammed Bulldog. Big Show and Mankind. Wow, Big Show. He's got Mankind. He's calling for the choke slam. And wow, he hits the big choke slam. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. And the referees pulled out Jimmy Corderas. And they started beating the heck out of Jimmy Corderas. Because that's the guy who crossed the picket line. Now they're affecting the main event because of it. Now Austin is beating up the striking referees. Remember, Austin is the enforcer in this match. Even though for all of this match he was doing commentary right up until just now. Triple H and The Rock in the ring. DDT by The Rock on Triple H. Goes for the cover. Austin, 1, 2. And Triple H gets the shoulder up. Wow, and the crowd does not like that because it almost looked like a 3 count. They were going nuts. They thought The Rock won the title. Triple H now, knee to The Rock's face. Everybody else is fighting outside. Rock and Triple H in the ring. Triple H is kicking Rock in the corner. Remember, Austin is now the referee. Everybody's chanting for The Rock. And, oh, Rock has rock bottom. He hit rock bottom. Going for the people's elbow. Everybody thinks The Rock is about to win here. Throws the elbow pad. Hits one rope. Hits the other rope. People's elbow. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. And then, wow. Oh, wow. Big Show pulled Austin out of the ring to stop the count. Bulldog hit The Rock with a steel chair. Triple H hits a pedigree on The Rock. And Austin, 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins the title. And the crowd is very unhappy. See, man, the crowd probably did not leave that arena happy that night. Not only did they have to sit through a very uneventful show where they didn't really get to see too many great matches. Most of the matches were very dry. I mean, nothing fascinating going on. And then this main event was fun. And then now they had to watch Triple H become champion. But Steve Austin just gave Triple H the stunner to congratulate him for winning the WWF Championship. So Triple H wins the WWF Championship for the second time at Unforgiven 1999. And so that was WWF Unforgiven 1999, and thank you for watching.